Al Horford recently signed with the Warriors, and I'm getting the impression that there might be a slight misconception regarding what Horford will truly bring to the table. Let's start by stating that Al Horford is undoubtedly one of the most underrated players of the past 20 years. Horford deserves to be respected for his championship pedigree in both college and in the NBA. The fact that he's won over 62% of the games in his career over the span of 18 seasons, and his attention to the fine details of the game that helps teams win. Things like passing, screening, defense, all the details that can get overlooked by fans that are more focused on scoring.
Pistons move the ball around the arc. Harris drives. Oh, swatted by Horford.
Horford has been one of the best in the league at all those areas of the game for nearly 2 decades. On top of that, the way he has completely adapted his playing style to evolve and continue to be a valuable player in the league long after his peers have retired needs to be mentioned. Taking all that into consideration, I truly believe that Horford deserves to be a Hall of Famer when he retires. But the question that remains is, what are the Warriors really getting in Horford? At age 39, this is obviously not the athletic freak that led the Hawks to a 60-win season in 2015. The guy is no longer an all-star, but is he even as good as he was a couple years back when he won with the Celtics? Where can he truly help the Warriors at this point, and what can they actually expect from him? Horford is far from the player he once was on the offensive side of the ball. There was a time when Big Al averaged 18.6 points per game for the Hawks as a vicious pick-and-roll finisher with one of the best mid-range shots in the league at his position. At his peak, he averaged 5 assists per game, a guy that was looked at as a primary facilitator and screen setter out of the middle. We know Horford is no longer that guy, but you might be surprised to realize how far removed he is from that playing style. Horford, who used to be considered as an elite screen setter, averaged a humble 1.8 screen assists per game last year. And as a passer, Horford had an assist percentage of just 10.4%. For reference, league average in assists was at 16.2%. Horford can still set some great screens to create space for teammates. Here and there, he'll catch you off guard with a savvy pass to find a teammate for an easy bucket. But those types of plays have become fewer and further between for Horford. Instead, Horford served primarily as a catch-and-shoot specialist in Boston last season. Last year, the average distance of Horford's shot was 19 feet from the basket, which is further than any other center in the league. And 68% of Horford's shot attempts came from beyond the three-point line. In fact, Al Horford only made 1.4 two-point field goals per game last year in Boston. He was one of the purest three-point specialists in the league. Now, we do need to mention that last year, Boston averaged about 274 passes per game, placing bottom 7 in the league. In contrast, the Warriors led the league with 332 passes made. Horford is likely going to return to setting more screens and making more passes in Golden State, just based on the difference in team playing style and strategy. However, fans that think that Horford is going to be all over the court, setting up teammates with open looks, might be disappointed. At this point in his career, Horford is mostly a high IQ veteran that stretches out defenses as a knockdown three-ball shooter. A guy that isn't all that unique, but all teams need in this day and age. And that's okay, because Horford is still one of the best defenders in the league, even at age 39.
You need to make them. Yeah, that's right. You need to make them. Good deflection by Horford.
Holiday's on him, stays on his feet. Mobley now. Leaves it for Niang, and it's Horford with a block!
Al Horford may not be bouncing around the court contesting shots like he did in his prime, but not many guys in the league can man up on both the perimeter and in the interior like Big Al. Fans might not realize how good Horford is at defending the perimeter. He's not particularly physical, but he has a lot of veteran tricks and elite footwork. For instance, check out how he defends Franz Wagner on this play here. Instead of squaring him up and trying to stay in front of him, he seemingly gives him a path to the rim. However, Horford tracks him from his back hip every step of the way, and by the time Wagner is attempting his finish, Horford is in perfect position to get the block.
Wagner operating towards the rim, rejected!
Here's another play where the 38-year-old Horford was defending Darius Garland, one of the quickest guards in the league, and a tough matchup for any center. Horford basically does the same thing he did to Wagner. He lets Garland think he's got a clear path to the basket, but Horford stays tight on his back on a perfect angle and easily blocks Garland's shot.
Garland gets Horford on his back, and Horford chases him.
Another very impressive veteran play. While he might not be the physical force that he was in his prime, it's plays like these that allow Horford to remain one of the most versatile defenders in the NBA. His ability to guard multiple positions has been essential for Boston and will surely be a fascinating fit alongside Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, two of the most versatile and high IQ defenders in the NBA. Horford's 2.8 block rate is still top 30 in the league, and it would probably be higher if he was cemented in the interior like less mobile centers. But that's not Horford at all. He's one of the best players in the association at defending the three ball. Last season, Horford held his opponents to a remarkably low 31.4% three-point accuracy from above the break. He's one of the best at closing out on corner threes as well. In 2024-25, Horford held his opponents to a field goal percentage of 37.5 on corner threes, and in his championship season, he was even better, holding opponents to just 33.1% from the corner. He has great anticipation and puts pressure on shooters as well as the best of them, even at his age. In fact, Horford is actually one of the best at blocking three-pointers in the league, a play that not many excel at. The truth of the matter is that Horford will most certainly be an exceptional fit in Golden State, but possibly not in the way that some fans think. He'll be a key cog on the defensive end. However, on offense, the role he has played in Boston is that of a catch-and-shoot specialist, one of the best in the league at the center position, but he hasn't been as much of a facilitator over the past few seasons. We would love to see him become the Horford of old once again, becoming a key screen setter and passer in the Warriors' defense. But we don't want to set unrealistic expectations for the 39-year-old at this stage in his career. But we want to know, what do you guys think? How good will Horford truly be in Golden State, and what type of role will he play? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Insight.